Good morning. It's Wednesday. As you can see, I'm clean shaven. Didn't do it on purpose, but I made a mistake when I was shaving and it just ended up coming all off. My wife likes it. I actually got a kiss from her, so that's nice. She prefers me clean shaven for some odd reason. She don't like that old scruff. She didn't like it the whole time I had it. Plus, if I gotta look for work, I gotta look kind of clean and all that. She said, didn't matter to me, but anyway, it's okay. I'm a little bit disappointed. Mike Knotts is having a conference the end of October. And if you guys watch Martin and Mike Knott's channel, you'll get that information. But the U.S.-Canada border is so restricted still that I won't be able to make it down. Unless something miraculous happens that they open the border before the end of October, I won't be able to go down, which is okay. It's okay in the sense that I'll be there in spirit no matter what. Um, Martin's attending. He's going to be speaking, I believe. And Seth and his dad, Wes, Fahlenkamp, are going down. As far as I know, this is who's attending so far. But there's a few people attending. I think it's like up to 16 people. That's what I was told by Seth. We had a video chat last night because he would love me to come down. I know. He told me that. But Lord willing, I would say. But I very highly doubt it because the world isn't going to change that fast in the sense of crossing the border. So, like I said, I'll be there in spirit, and that's the main thing. Now, I finished God's Celestial Purpose yesterday, and I didn't know what I was going to read today, but all of a sudden in the mail yesterday comes my new edition of The Unsearchable Riches, my quarterly edition. So I found an article which I am going to bring to you today. It's Studies in Colossians. The title is That Which is Above, based on Colossians chapter 3, verse 1 and chapter 4, verse 1. Our bodies have not yet been raised to celestial spheres, but in spirit we have been vivified together with Christ, Ephesians 2:5, and roused with him, Colossians 3:1. Hence come the great conflicts in our conduct. For while we are on earth, in flesh, our spirit and our soul belong above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. The body apart from the spirit is dead. As our life is hid together with Christ in God, we are dead to the things of this nether sphere. We have no future on the earth. Any moment may call us away to our celestial home. This includes far more than death to sin, as set before us in the 6th of Romans. This exhortation is not based on Christ's descent for us, but on his exaltation among the celestials. It does not appeal to his past suffering for our sakes, but to his future glory and our public manifestation with him in it. The power of that glory is already operating in our spirits and attracts our souls as a magnet to the Empyrean. Our life is an invisible one, even as Christ is hid from mortal gaze. We belong to the celestials. Correct conduct consists in conformity to truth. All our acts should fit the facts. So long as we belonged to this earth and the decadent humanity which inhabits it, we deported ourselves accordingly. Now that our vital interests have been transferred to a higher and nobler sphere, we should comport ourselves as becomes its dignity and glory. We no longer belong down here. The earth with the human beings upon it is no connection. It is no connection to be proud of. We should be glad to be rid of our relationship to such a race and to enter into practical possession of our new dignities by conducting ourselves as those of a higher, nobler, and yet humbler company. Put to death. God's indignation is coming on the sons of stubbornness because of their sins and transgressions and offenses. True, this does not meet them as a rule in this life, but it will surely visit them in the judgment. and in the days of vengeance, when God deals with the race as a whole. Not only the baser sins will endure his indignation, but some which almost parade as virtues will call down his wrath. Greed is the worship of things, the reliance on the creature, and will be dealt with as idolatry, for it puts possessions in the place of him who must possess the undivided loyalty of every heart. Reliance on riches is idolatry, for one alone is reliable. Once we lived in these things, but now we should gladly put them in the place of death, so that they have no more attraction, no further power, no longer any part of our lives. Death to the indulgences of the flesh, death to all evil desires that drag us down. The old and the young humanity. The race of mankind is hopelessly decrepit and depraved. In a fine figure, its conduct is compared with the clothes with which it covers its nakedness. But its outward behavior is by no means ideal. Its conduct is no fit covering for us. Hence, we are exhorted to strip it off and put on a different dress, more suited to our new relations. We are to leave off anger, fury, malice, calumny, obscenity, and falsehood. These are no fitting garment for the young humanity which has Christ as its image. Such should put on the very opposite. Anger, fury, malice should be replaced by compassion and kindness, calumny and obscenity out of your mouth by humility, meekness, patience, gracious forbearance. The cause of much misconduct in the old humanity is its shattered condition. It is split up into conflicting factions. In it, the Greek is set against the Jew, the circumcision against the uncircumcision, the slave against the free man. Its unity is destroyed. Its parts are antagonistic. There is mutual distrust and jealousy and hatred between its sections. All this is done away in the new humanity, in which Christ is everything to each one. It is and always will remain an indivisible unity, with no friction or faction. In Christ we recognize no distinctions, such as mar humanity. Race, religion, ritual, and social standing all disappear. These are hindrances to the unity which must be discarded. Grace is our guiding star. How has the Lord dealt with us? He has not merely been kind and forgiving, but above all, gracious. Grace does not get, but gives. Grace does not condemn, but condones. Grace does not hinder, but helps. Grace does not find fault, but freely bestows its favors. No matter what we are or what we have done, we can always be sure of sufficient grace from our adorable Lord. Oh, that we could count upon the same consideration for those or from those who are his. Oh, that we could show or would show the same grace to all who are recipients of his favor. Okay, tomorrow I'll go into love, the tie of maturity. This is good because I can split this up. These articles are really long, but they're awesome. So, yeah, that's awesome. I thank God that I got this unsearchable riches, and I was able to share that with you today. So I'm going to continue on. I'm going to find some different things to read. I'll go through parts of this, and then I will find another book, or I'll bring something that's amazing as God will lead me to bring you these shows. I love you all. Have a beautiful Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow.